The governor system is new in Season 2 of Civilization Eras and Allies, and you can use it to get some very powerful buffs. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel for tips and tricks in Season 2, consider doing so. I've got a bunch of vids about this. This will be our deep dive on this one system, but I've got guides for just about everything in Season 2. Well, I'm working on that. And if you haven't already downloaded the game, you can use the link in the description to go and download. A thank you again to the makers of Civilization Eras and Allies for sponsoring this video. So, what is the governor system? Like I said, it's new in Season 2. It's related to your alliance, and there'll be a little governor option up above my head over here. You can see I can tap into this. And essentially, as you go and capture city-states, once you start getting them at level 6 or higher, somebody gets to be the governor of that city-state. And then people become citizens of that city-state. So how does this work? All right. So I can tap governor personnel here. You can see the list of city-states and their governors, or they have no governor in some cases. The governor manages the buildings that are constructed within the city-state. They appoint people to become citizens of that city-state, and only governors can invite members to become citizens of a city-state, and your alliance members can choose, hey, do I want to be a member of this city-state or not, this governorship or not? And most of the time, the governor gets a higher boost for being the governor than all the citizens get. Now, if you want to see what those boosts are, I can tap into one of these. And there's a ton of boosts over here, man. Holy smokes. Now, a citizen's role in a governorship is a little bit different. The governor is controlling what gets built, and I'll show you what some of that looks like. The citizen gets invited to join, and the governor ship that they join is going to have a designation, as I was showing you earlier. There's tech, military, just like there are for the city-states, tech, military, trade, and industrial, okay? And the perks are totally different depending on what you pick. We'll go over that a little bit later in the video, all right? But as a citizen, you're going to contribute the construction materials that you see on the far left. And those construction materials are used by the governor to go build. Okay, you see where this is going? This is just like when you work on other alliance buildings. It's like construction materials, pretty straightforward, okay? And you contribute that, by the way, from drilling, capturing tiles, fighting in battles, just to name a few sources here. So the benefits of joining are really numerous, and I'm going to emphasize this, just like your civilization and how you need to change depending on what sort of state you are in. Is it war, peace, the start of the season, the end of the season? All that applies here as well. This is extra customization. And let's start with tech. This is one of the big ones, in my opinion, one of the more important ones. And the main bonus you see up top here is that in the Renaissance era, you get a capital insight yield boost of 20, and the citizens get a boost of 10. In addition, there's a research lab that's unique to tech cities. It allows citizens to donate their insight to research 2 technologies that in turn give more insight. It's Deep Insight and National Academy. You can see this, by the way, if I go back. I'm a member of a tech governorship. I'm a citizen. You can see them right here. Deep Insight, all right, and also National Academy. The military governorship is obviously focused on war. So you're going to join the military governorship when you're about to battle or have started battle. This is going to give you a XP bonus for your heroes of 20 to 10%, depending on whether you're the governor or the citizen. And in addition, I mean, gosh, do I just read everything through here, or do I kind of summarize? I think I'm just going to summarize, right? The barracks, the military academy, the arsenal gives extra stats. They provide int, attack, and defense, capping out at 15. Arena increases morale regeneration by 1% on each level, and the max level bonus is 10. And advanced buildings give 1 stat a pop, attack, int, and defense on each level. A max bonus gives 3 stats, all right? Now, some of these things you're like, wait, arena, like, what is that? So when the governor goes in to manage the city-state, okay, they've got separate buildings they can go upgrade. So some of these things that are in the description of what these buildings do. They're here. They're in the city-state, okay? And I'm a part of this governorship, so I can like show you this for a tech one, all right? Particularly the research lab, right? And the university here. Governor/citizen increased insight yield of 1. All right. Then we've got the industrial governorship. Let's pull this up. Gonna have to scroll to find one of these that's got a governor with some benefits. There we go. All right. This focuses primarily on resources and development. Once the capital's workshop is fully upgraded, increase the capital city aqueduct effect from 20% to 30%. The Acropolis increases military buildings, airport, and fortress by 15 on each level. Max level bonus gives 150 more endurance. And on a level 7 industrial city-state, you're able to build a missile plant. Okay, now this is a big deal. The missile plant unlocks the hypersonic missile. Okay? The hypersonic missile is kind of like your nuclear option in Season 2. It's pretty major. It's actually like a unit that your Alliance has. It shows up right over here. Someone's got to do it, which is why we have one. And like, there you go. Somebody operates your hypersonic missile. Resupply missiles after use. We have munitions, chat. We have munitions. All right. Now, the final governorship to talk about is the trade governorship. So we can swing back over here, scroll on down to a trade governorship. This focuses primarily on resource improvement and trade-related bonuses. If the governor and citizens have a capital city within the administrative region, caravans departing from the capital city gain an additional envoy, which is helpful for gaining your diplomacy buffs. Housing increases silver yield by 120 on each level, a max of 600 silver yield, which primarily is what the trade governorship is all about. So you can do more standard recruits, which in turn becomes more hero skill experience that you'd want to have going into a new season in particular, right? So which governorship should you choose? Which one? Well, a tech governorship is obviously great toward the start of the season to boost your insight, all right? So if I pull that up, among the benefits, you get reduced construction costs for monuments, gives you Eureka bonuses to get research faster, lets you build an observatory in a mountain range with extra insight right over here. So at the start of the season, I'd say tech is really solid. The military governorship, like, I don't know, guys, like, Chess School's amazing guide in 2025 is like, choose the military governorship when you're fighting. But, like, do that, obviously. You get extra hero experience from your PvP battles, reduce silver costs when you're training militia. You have a faster restation speed. You get more valor rewards, plus additional shop items. And you provide a morale boost buff when your army has earned sufficient valor, which is pretty cool. So this one feels like a really like obvious choice when you're fighting. Okay, so let's go to the less obvious choices now. We can talk about industrial again. When should you switch to industrial, or should you switch to industrial? The most strategic reason for the industrial governorship is honestly just to unlock the hypersonic missile for your alliance. Like, you need one. For what it's worth, I never went to the industrial governorship. I never became a citizen of one of those governorships in Season 2, okay? And while there's this bastion function, which is pretty cool, I honestly am not sure I'd recommend switching to this. So what is the sort of collection of benefits here? You enhance your aqueduct district, which in turn helps you generate more resources. You get a higher stone yield, which is good for upgrading buildings in the mid-game, or mid-season, I should say. And you can build these bastions, which enhance your attack, defense, and valor when you fight at the bastion. But that only applies if the enemy is in the industrial era and earlier. And that is really key, because in this season, we got the modern era. You get to the modern era and, like, that's it. Everybody's in the modern era at that point. So it's kind of like an early game boost. And similar to the tech governorship, you can also build an observatory within a mountain range for extra insight yield. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about this one all wrong. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I didn't use this one. Maybe I should have for the bastions as like an alternative for a fighting civilization. Like, it's not civilization, as an alternative to a military governorship. All right. And then lastly, we've got the trade governorship, which I think is probably like an end of season choice. Okay. So if you want to upgrade, well, I mean, I don't know, you could do it. You could do it other times in the season too. Let me explain. If you want to upgrade your gold skills, I think the trade governorship is really good for farming up manuscripts, which is right over here. All right. So your skill manuscript upgrades do not reset at the end of the season. So you can get permanent upgrades from this. And it's ideal in a couple situations, right? Like if you're having a snooze fest or you're in a time of peace, you could do it. Or if it's toward the end of the season when everything is kind of settled, you could do it. There are other benefits you obviously get from here. There's an additional envoy. Prosperous trade gives more trade chances. You increase your aqueduct's range by 1 tile. And you get 10% more valor rewards and additional shop items, which is pretty handy. At the end of the day, the governor system is a great way to fine-tune how your account is operating at any moment in time. And like I said at the start, like just like your civilization, you're going to need to switch around what your governorship is to sort of optimize how your account is operating at any moment in time. All right. So if you enjoyed the vid, throw a like on here and subscribe. If you're new to the season, this I think is really helpful to see like as you're going into the season to understand what's kind of coming. But once you've done this and you can kind of get the hang of it, it's like, all right, I kind of know what I want to switch to and when. I am kind of curious how this will change around in future seasons. But if you're looking for more S2 guidance, I'll have cards in the end screen you might want to go check out. They'll be off to the side over here. And until next time, you have fun smashing your enemies. Take care, everybody.